Hey, what's up? It's the normal playing guy, and I'm back after a while. So we're gonna do a nice versus over the campaign that we've just done, rather than going through one by one. So we had at the same time Goku versus Blue Goku versus Rose, right? Can transfer swap with either Zamasu or Vegeta respectfully. Um, Congratulations to those who pulled and commiserations to those who didn't. But for the majority, especially considering one of these was on a carnival banner, most people probably actually walked away with at least a copy. So we'll start with Blue Goku. So, what are the differences between them? Now, a lot of them, they kind of have a similar sort of setup. I guess really what makes the difference is the partners and the teams that they can actually go on for. So, we got Future Saga and Fuse Fighters, and then you get the extra 220% for those on Bond, Parent, and Final Trump. Strictly speaking, it will just be the Final Trump that's really helping out. And on this guy, we have super bosses flat out 220%. But see here, we have 200%. This is all basic effect. So we have 200% for the start of turn. That's just your base stats. Two keys for obtained, and we are 80% and attacks are effective with an ally who is included called Goku Black. And same sort of thing here. 200% at the start of turn receives an additional 2 key per key sphere obtained. There isn't something else with a Goku Black, or rather another Goku, but in particular it's largely the same. Per superclass ally or future saga, depending on which has more. By the way, this doesn't stack, so it'll just pick one or the other if it's both the same. So you get up to 150% to stats, and you get an attack, and you get a dodge and damage reduction up to 60%. With this guy, same sort of deal, right? Extreme class ally or future saga. It's still future saga, but this now it's extreme. We still get stats over this guy gets crit and damage reduction 60%. So they both have damage reduction, crit versus dodge. They're a very similar setup. So yeah, okay, in this particular sense, then it seems that black is going to hit slightly harder. When all allies in the same turn are superclass or just one other future saga, we have a further damage reduction, a further chance to dodge. We're taking that up to 40, taking that up to again 80%. It's got to be applicable, and we get an additional super attack. And this guy again, well, this a little bit different, just flat out guards, but again, just requires extreme class or future saga, same deal, but guards. So this one, he's definitely going to dodge a bit more. 18 key or more gives you 200% attack. That's a triple multiplier and applies the super excellent effect. With this guy, when he's 18 or more, same again. Except this time he gets a additional what has a 70% chance to become a super attack. So you'd probably prefer blacks, but they have the similar attack. When receiving an attack, 180% defense. When receiving an attack, 180% defense. Now, of course, transformation units slash exchange units can vary. Usually, this is just a prelude of what's to come, right? So they're pretty good, no doubt. Right, so 200% LR stats, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Let's see, the 12 key greatly raises attack, 30% defense, lowers attack. Uh, greatly stacks attack. Oh, this greatly stacks attack as well. So you greatly stack your attack and raise allies' attack by 60%. Blue Goku, is he the same? He is. He greatly stacks, lowers attack, 30% defense. And this one, but he gained allies' defense by 60%. So having a look at these guys, they both hit. I mean, even at 55%, these dudes are going to hit 30, 40 million. I kid you not, especially if you put the links up there as well. These guys are just made to hit hard, just period. And even a 12 key additional super is coming out with 20 million. And this is at 55%, admittedly, with a lot of links. What makes this in particular is great is they both stack attack, greatly stack attack. They have some additionals built in, right? This guy has an additional super attack flat out. And that's pretty good. So again, with hidden potential system, you could do 3 super attacks. Each one is giving you quite a bit of attack, but also your 12 key also does give you 30% defense, making you a little bit better. This guy does have a little bit of damage reduction and dodge, which makes him potentially defensively more viable, right? More useful, more just more practical. Super effective means he isn't going to be slowed down by AGL. That's fine with what 70% damage reduction within the same turn theoretically, and again up to um, what is that? So 80% to dodge. That's pretty insane. 80% to dodge, and that amount of damage reduction. Whereas Black, he does guard, which is pretty good, right? If my computer can hurry up. So he does guard. He does have that guard, and again, he still has damage reduction, so that's pretty good. So you're going to have 60% damage reduction, whilst you're going to have guard, which mitigates quite a lot of damage. Okay, so he doesn't have a guaranteed additional super attack, but he is still going to have a 70% chance. So one of them. But to counteract it, he does have this in his particular. So again, what makes this actually more viable is the links, in particular for this guy, because he has big bad bosses. That itself is 25% to stats. And when you factor in the 25%, even with this, doesn't matter if this is 70%, he's got it better, right? So, depending on how well versed one is, they're both going to hit hard, and they're both going to be, well, again, Goku with his dodge edges out because of defense, but when you strip away content that you can't dodge, they both have a pretty respectable amount of damage reduction. So again, they're largely the same. They're just tailored to different aspects, right? Super bosses versus Future Saga slash Final Trump, right? So it's one of them. This guy, when he has his active skill with here, it is just these two on screen, and he's just throw down a purple ball. So that's something. Right. So when we transform into this guy, who potentially is better. So actually, let me just get these guys up. Right. So when you do your active skill in Goku, you actually do turn into Vegeta, right, with his little counter attack, and they have slightly different ones based on who it is. So for example, this guy, it's a father-son Gallic gun, right? When you turn into Vegeta, and when you're in Zamasu, you actually fuse into Zamasu and do the Blades of Judgment. But again, it's all the same. So, right, and by the way, from the fourth turn, you can freely swap as you wish. Every turn you can swap from the fourth turn onwards. So, 7 key, 200% to stat. Okay. There is no stacking of defense in this particular bit. And you do guard all attacks. Nice. And again, similar sort of situation. Right, from the fourth turn, freely change every turn. 7 key, 200%, 50% chance to crit. Woo! So rather than guard, we have 40% damage reduction. And to coincide with the active skill, this is, you get a nice little bonus extra. 3 key coming in, huge. Third attacker in the turn, guaranteed crits, insane amount of attack. On attack, comparable amounts, and Future Saga Extreme Class Allies 10% damage reduction. In particular, Indel Zamasu will appreciate the extra damage reduction because that's kind of his thing, and he has an easy A. Active skill or 20 or more key, huge amounts of stats, guaranteed additional super attack, and attack and defense 300%, guaranteed crit when HP is 60% or less. Pretty insane. So he heals. Whereas this guy, well, he doesn't get attack and defense. He does get 100% to 150% to defense, launches additional super attack. Granted, the attack. Let's see, 12 key greatly raises, so it's a 50% buff for the turn. Massively stacks attack, 30% defense for the turn. And these guys, let's have a look when it works, probably going to be the same. And we have, yeah, 50% lowest defense, massively raise both attack and defense, but it's only for the turn and recover 20 HP. So in this particular form, especially considering the active skill is pretty powerful, you'd say in this one, because of his heals, when you fall below a certain amount, you do get this one turn, well, for the turn, insane amount of power, right? It's supposed to be able to mimic his immortality, granted. So, that's great. Additional super attack, again, always great. Massively raising your stats, brilliant. So between the two, who is better? Okay, when you first get him, I'd say Goku's a little bit better, but even though some events cancel out dodge, but when you flip the tables, actually Zamasu's better. He's going to hit a little bit harder, right? And his active skill is kind of actually cool. So that's pretty good. So, and again, because of the Big Bad Bosses links, they're all going to have, 25% extra to attack and defense, which again, considering that these guys, all they have is just a lot of stats. There is a little bit of attack and defense here, and oh no, it's the other one. So they only get a little bit here. So realistically, you probably find that the most versatile one is black, personally. But honestly, they're kind of specced out the same. Um, Again, superclass versus extreme, but you kind of relatively would use it on that. Anyway, I'll leave it up to you, but again, you can let me know which one you prefer. Personally, I think Black's got it down as the jack of all trades, realistically, especially with guard and damage reduction. And he maintains the guard as well. I mean, okay, this maintains damage reduction, sure. But, all in, all in. Anyway, that's it. I'll be firing these out non-stop. But anyway, you let me know which one you think was best. But that was a good versus for you. Right, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, and bye-bye.